tech is built by Christian venture builders and redemptive entrepreneurs. So that's our vision, to build a redemptive tech ecosystem flourishing across Southeast Asia. And how will we do that? By doing two things. So Dear Ventures was built to be an accelerator and capital provider. And we want to be building Southeast Asia's redemptive tech ecosystem. And a lot of it is about community and fellowship, about founders, funders, partners, and mentors. And hopefully that involves many of you here today. And our career is guided by Matthew 5, 14-16. Ventures to reflect God's love, thereby shining brightly and glorifying God. And 5:14-16, of course, is the verse about you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither the people light the lamp and put it on the ground. Instead, they put it on the stand and gives light to everyone in the house in the same way. Let the light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So how do we build ventures that light the way, that shine into areas of darkness in our culture? And we do that by anchoring on the redemptive frame. The redemptive frame is a framework from Praxis from the US. Fundamentally, if you look at it, it consists of 3 circles, and which represents sort of 3 ways to live or how we interact with the world. And there are 3 axes as well, X, Y, and Z. And they represent how the redemptive frame is manifested and executed in terms of strategy, operations, and leadership. So I'm just going to focus on the 3 circles here very quickly today. If you look at the innermost circle, next, exploitative. Exploitative mindset or the way of engagement is basically win and control. It's all about I win and you lose, +1, -1. And sadly, it's the typical human default, right? And the world is this way because of sin. Exploitative is unavoidable, systemic, and all around us. But fortunately, there is a better way, and that's the middle circle. That is the ethical way. So what is that? Ethical is to do the right thing. Is to win-win. Like what Hugo used to say, do no evil. And it's really the human response to how we try to break away from exploitative. Because we know that exploitative is not the right way to live. But the ethical is actually not enough to counter the exploitative. Because in exploitative, there is systemic brokenness and injustice. Whereas in peoples or communities that are trapped, that typically do not have the power to free themselves. So typically, another actor from outside needs to take the first step, needs to take a risk, needs to take a sacrifice. And that's where the redemptive way comes in. That's the outermost circle. So redemptive is creative restoration through sacrifice. And the motivation is guided by the gospel. It's about how is love manifested in the ways we run business, right? So it includes all aspects of the ethical, but it's about the mindset itself. Win-win. It's about sometimes, you know what, I need to sacrifice a bit, I may take a bit more risk, and we win, right? I sacrifice and we win as a partnership. I sacrifice and we win as a company. I sacrifice and we win as an industry. I sacrifice and we win as a country, right? So that's what redemptive means. In many ways, it's counterintuitive. It is countercultural, right? But we know that it's possible, and only possible because of what Christ has shown us through his sacrifice and redeeming all of us. So as founders that build startups and new products, right? These startups and products, every new product that we release into the world, every new business that we set up, shapes a part of culture and where you operate, right? And every time you build a product or culture, you decide whether is it going to be exploitative, is it going to be ethical, or could it just be redemptive? Could it be redemptive in the sense that could it renew and restore a certain part of the culture in your company or in the industry or in the country that you're working in? And that's what the redemptive rate is all about. So, equipped with the redemptive bread, we believe that redemptive entrepreneurs building redemptive ventures can have a profound impact on the major issues of brokenness in our time, in the society, industry, or country, thereby creating a redemptive future, and each doing their part to renew and restore culture, thereby giving glory and pointing more people to Jesus. And so far, we've got a portfolio through 3 cohorts, about 27 startups, 5 investments, and we're so overjoyed to see them, how they have all been progressing. We started about 3 years ago. And we think about what success means for us as well. And specifically for the Labs program, our success metric is transformation. Labs is a discipleship or formation program. The outcome we hope to achieve is transform Christian founders. It could be day 1, with day 100, it could be day 1,000, right? But we have already seen some of this formation happening from our Labs for more than 3 years. And we do track some of these metrics like NPS, 9.8. How much do you understand redemptive entrepreneurship? 2.4 versus 1.6 before. And how much do you aspire to be a redemptive entrepreneur after that? Sorry, 2.9 versus 2.3 before. So these are just some of the very Labs specific metrics that we track. Now talking about Labs, what did our fellows go through in the past 8 months? They went through, these are nice photos. They went through basically 2 gatherings of 4 days, 3 nights each. And today we're here at Showcase Day. So their journey started last August and it culminates today as a milestone, a step in their journey, on April 20th. We had it at Batam, Indonesia. It was a 4-day, 3-night gathering. And you can imagine, for those who are familiar, it's like a church camp, essentially. It looks and feels it's meant to be like a church camp. So you start the day with worship, just like what we did. Then you go into morning and afternoon content and sharing and devotion sessions. And at the end of the day, you're really tired. That's why we feed you good food so that you can start the day the next day. So that's our Labs program. And anyone who's interested would love to see you there. But the crux of the Labs program is actually our mentors. And we've got many of the mentors here today. Some are actually wearing tags, some are not. I think because we have lost some tags along the way. But this year's mentors are, our strongest ever group of mentors. They come from Singapore, Indonesia, Korea, I'm missing anyone, Philippines, right? And they come from a wide range of industries. But one thing is consistent about all the mentors that are here. They are deeply thoughtful about their faith and how it impacts their work or their daily lives. And they clearly have been successful in their respective vocations. The vocation may be entrepreneurship or it could be ministry. But that's what we look for in terms of our mentors. But most importantly, we've got an amazing cohort this year. We've got 15 fellows, most of them are here, coming from 10 startups, or 10 ventures, you see them here. We're from 4 countries this year, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, and Hong Kong. And if you look in the booklet, we have more information about them, about why they started, what support they need, what funding they need, their contact details. So we have filled so much joy and anticipation for this community to really hear from them. And with that, let me hand it back to Owen so that we can go for the
really love about this is that, you know, we are looking at using business to solve some of the biggest problems in our region. And, you know, back in the early days in the Christian community, we think about, oh, you know, let's donate. Let's use generosity and charity money to really tackle these problems. But actually, business is even a greater force, and technology is even a greater force that can be used for these purposes. And I know that this, you know, what Chris was talking about, it seemed like really kind of maybe easy or, but it is a really hard process. And when you talk about, you know, I sacrifice, you win, that for me is such a high calling, and I love it. And I know that this community keeps meeting, and you have to keep meeting. I think you guys have a monthly lunch that you just keep encouraging each other, because it's a process of just unlearning and relearning about really what God's calling us to do with our, you know, our businesses and our enterprises. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce, actually how we're going to do this is the mentors. I'm going to introduce the startups that they've been mentoring. So we have, let me get all the names, we have Sharon, Ron, Alan, Stefano, Estelle. They've been mentoring one or two each, and they're going to do a very quick introduction, and then the founders are going to come up with 5 minutes. Now, we're very strict about the 5 minutes. There is a bell. We always have a bell. Oh, okay, very light bell. And we need to be on the dot, and so I know they've all been practicing to try and get it on the 5 minute on the dot. It's very hard, but it's going to be great. And let's give them a big round of applause after they pitch and encourage them. But like I said, there's a lot of time afterwards to connect with them, and their contact details are in the booklet as well. So I'm going to introduce Sharon Webb as the first one.
I'll first introduce School of Concept, MINS, and it has been a privilege to work with them. MINS is a series, she has experience building business in education. So the tech part is something that came later to enhance the overall business. So this is someone with serious business. But what I have found is that to use the word to describe the last 8 months with her, she's a fellow encourager, someone who acts on it. So means leader, please.
Any child, anywhere under the sky. Now, how many of you here enjoy learning? Can I see a raise of hands? Okay, next question. Has it always been easy and motivating? Really?
Oh.
What if I told you that I'm dyslexic and I really hated learning until God allowed me to find my learning superpower through a Sunday school teacher and my mother's efforts. And the media has been an advocate of my experience and shared this story to encourage many other children who might be like myself. But I want to do more, and that led me to try to see how we can work with more than 1.49 billion children worldwide by 2030. It led me to find my three co-founders. Let me define my three virtual co-founders. So please meet Drew, Chloe, and Ollie. Okay, mental note, pick your favorite, who resonated best with you. Okay, time's up. So those who pick Drew tend to be hands-on and you learn through experiences. Those who pick Chloe tend to enjoy visuals and images. And those of you who pick Ollie tend to like stories and data. And that's exactly how they exactly represent a sneak peek into the SOC method that we have founded to make learning optimal and accessible. Accessible for not just the mainstream children, but children like myself, 1 in 5, who have learning difference. beginning. Now, how do we multiply that? I didn't really know, so just had to pray. And God allowed me to incorporate this methodology into different subjects and open doors to allow us to supply these programs to schools in Singapore, even our own. Through COVID, it also allowed us to actually conceptualize hybrid learning toys and incorporate the content into online learning platforms as well as mobile learning game apps. Now, all of them are actually data collection points that are fully integratable and eventually actually data collecting to create our very own Gen AI that will one day make personalized learning fully accessible. So how do we do that? So sharing again our development roadmap. So reflecting on our journey, I felt called to the work back in 2012, and I said exit my business and sink that money into society. Well, the R&D went on, and I had no deadline in mind, but God had one for me. So by 2021, we realized that the business is actually commercially viable, and we started to incorporate it. We started monetizing the entire R&D journey through tech and toys, with different programs launched over the web as well as over mobile apps. Yeah. And all of these as we continue with data build for our Gen AI that will make personalized learning fully accessible, hopefully by 2025. So since our inception, we have made our programs accessible to over 200,000 children in Singapore. And God has also granted us favors and opened doors into communities, allowing us to sell over 25,000 fun boxes. That has actually enabled us to monetize this R&D journey. Through that, we have also been very successful in enabling little ones to read, write, and spell in a joyful and fun manner. And so the impact work continues. In large cohorts of children that we see, we've been able to serve interns to children. Incorporation of tech and toys has actually enabled us to launch bundles, somewhat like a Netflix for kids, that has made stories and content free for children. And it has also led us to make learning possible, even with children with special needs. So with this, we have been pulled into various markets. Just at the beginning of this year, we were pulled through inquiries to Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and recently Tokyo. Frankly, at the beginning of the year, I didn't know what to do. And I was just telling myself, okay, we're going to just pray, okay? Then we'll see what happens. And God opened so many doors. Through the advocacy of the media, we've been introduced to markets, and partners have been coming up to request for us to bring our products into the markets. Okay. So I kid you not when I say favors. Those of you who are Singaporeans will find them very familiar. Well, I got to meet them during one of our community programs, and Minister in Germany, which I actually really like our programs, and got 300 over kids for her constituency. Through that as well, that has also enabled us to actually build our learning traction. Again, one of those things I found actually, we're not very sure, just pray. And with that, we continue to project, and this will be what will be like in the next 5 years. Well, this projection again is based on the current performance prior to the launch of the Gen AI. Well, again, like I said, doing this alone with just my virtual co-founders is not going to happen. It's only made possible with a really strong team. And I must say that God has really made this possible for me. I met all of them along the way. I met my CFO at school, Esther through Sharon's introduction. I met Linda on the Faith Days journey. I met Jason during COVID. He was looking for a job and very, very disheartened with the tech scene. I met Beth in church when we were 9. I met Julie because she was looking for a faith-based organization to work with. And June is in our crowd today. She's a curious Christian, and she's been on this journey with us. And she has watched how God has worked in our lives and unfolded this journey for us. Well, a team like that, we've been able to make our working environment extremely safe. This has enabled us to inclusively hire. So just let me meet some of my teammates. This is Azima, just shed some spotlight on her, a Paralympic champion. You have read about her last year in the news. And some of them who would not like to be known, but would not like to be named, but have found a safe haven in our workspace. So thank you very much everyone for bearing with my technical difficulties.
The next company I introduce is GET, and they are in the children financial literacy space with an app, with a tech. I didn't know what it was, but I've had the privilege in the last 8 months to journey with them, and to in fact even visit new customers with them. So it's been pretty cool to watch them. So one word about them would be faith. They are on a faith journey. They don't know what's ahead, but both of them have been willing to embark on this by faith with a lot of peace in their heart. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Daniel, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of GET, which is Asia's first neobank Visa Get card for teens and parents, helping parents raise financially smarter kids. Now, I know some of us here in the audience today are parents, and some of us are not, but we were all once kids. And when I was a kid, I would always go to my mom and ask for a credit card because I need to buy Taylor Swift tickets. I just spent $150 on a credit card, and also, can I have $100 next week for textbooks? What are your reactions to this, me as a kid at this point? You might be thinking, wait, do I really need to give this kid my credit card or any of these? If you thought any of that, you're not alone, because 86 million families actually face this with pocket money in their households outside of India and China on a daily basis. Our society has pretty much forgotten and given up on our teaching our kids about money, and it's really quite hard, that's why. But as a result, 2 in 3 adults of the adult population today are actually considered financially illiterate. One of the ways that we thought about solving this is by allowing kids to practice in the real world under a safe environment of parenting. And that's why we launched GET, the first account and card that allows kids to be able to practice real money in the real world under the safe environment of a parent. In a very short period, we've grown to 25,000 customers simply by word of mouth and zero paid marketing. How come? A single statement is that electronic money is today's most important need. In perspective, 73 million smartphones are owned by teenagers today, of which 86% of merchants collect money electronically, transformed by COVID, and 95% of their pocket money is still received in cash. A typical 14-year-old needs to rely on at least 6 solutions just for their everyday banking. For spending alone, they need to use, for example, a transport card, parents' credit card, a savings and ATM card, a smartwatch, limited KYC e-wallet, and cash itself. What they truly demand is having everything all in a single place. But the problem is this. You see, banking services, they were built for adults from 18 all the way to 75, which means that there's enterprise-wide constraints to actually meet that profile of 8 to 18 and the parents. The business model of a bank is mainly to lend money. And considering the costly infrastructure of a bank, it just doesn't make sense to serve that commercial profile properly. But it might make sense for a dedicated venture with hyper capital efficiency and a fresh pair of eyes to go and solve that problem. We're completely rewarding money for kids and teens this time, making it hyper convenient for 8 to 18 and the parents, and making it very fun and relevant by allowing them to practice in the real world, because we know that experience is the best way to learn. Our hypothesis is this: for all kids and teens over the next generation, They will shift to modern banking solutions instead of traditional methods such as borrowing their parents' card or cash. And large financial institutions being created because of this. And being Asia's category leader is our aspiration. The revolution is happening globally already, and a $2.1 billion green line in the US is now powering JP Morgan's kid banking solutions. So let's take a look at how it might work. Imagine you're 13 years old today and you open up your first Get account with your bank account number. You can receive allowance and part-time pay instantly. With money inside, you can use the Get Visa cards and then spend anywhere online or in person wherever Visa or MasterCard is accepted. And where it's not, like in Singapore, like a hawker center, you can just use the QR scanner to pay now. Spare change, send to your friend on Get or locally. Savings pots allows you to save for your heart's desires. Parents love having their 8-year-old, 13, and 17-year-old all in a single app. So for example, they can schedule allowance, be able to set granular but very flexible controls for each of the children, allowing them to have independent experience, such as blacklisting, whitelisting merchants, or 18 plus merchants unlocked, and have spending summaries to understand their child's financial life, and real-time push notifications. Later this year, to enhance financial learning, we're really excited to launch Get AI, which embeds financial lessons within the app for the kid to be able to learn and be rewarded for getting them right. An AI tutor that explains complex financial concepts to the kid. Like OpenAI, bringing their technologies to both enterprise and the consumer level, Get is bringing its financial literacy technologies and under-18 banking to a wide range of B2B use cases such as white labeling, sponsored quizzes, analytics, B2B direct sale, and recently we came up with the opportunity to now empower a member base of intellectually disabled to be able to start banking and also gaining API control. Our flagship consumer product is available for all consumers to be able to access quickly and get started. We're building an entire ecosystem just around the first account. And to summarize, we're the first market for a kid banking solution in Asia. We have a loved product with a net promoter score of 9 out of 10. We have a rightful team with positive economics, some strategic partners, built-in morality, a meaningful mission to educate money, and also scalable technology that can scale to 10 million customers concurrently. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and we're looking forward to let's work together to bring kids and parents on today financial literacy technology that we wish that we had when we were younger today. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. In Indonesia, going through your picking to become your elected representative is a guessing game to see who has the better smile. And most of the time, we only hear about the candidates for the first time in the courtroom. So that's why Harry built a good guide to other Indonesian candidates and see their track record, if they have corrupted before or what they've done in the past. And I'm really proud to sort of walk together with you, Harry, to sort of see this come to fruition. Especially because I remember the weeks leading up to the elections this past February, I had, I heard on the radio, I heard it on social media, and especially while going up the elevator, going up to the office. So I'm really excited for what you're doing, and I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Harry. I'm from Kaya ID. We are a collaboration platform connecting leaders and citizens to bring transformation in Indonesia. Right, so I'm going to give a crash course on Indonesian election 101. There were 5 ballots. The first ballot is easy, president, vice president, we had 3 options, and even then, some people, I guess, have a first choice, right? The rest of them, it's like this. It's huge. The real thing is actually bigger than this, and it's just list of names and list of parties, and I don't even know about them. Right? So it's quite overwhelming, and there was 258,000 candidates. Right, so that brings us to the challenges in every election. People don't know who to vote for, so many options, so little information. And it's very expensive for you want to run for the campaign. The best known method is to give out money on the day of the election. Yeah. make sure they vote for you. And there's no accountability mechanism. So if you got elected, you spend so much money, what you want to do is the next 5 years will be your ROI period, I guess, return on investment. And this leads to corruption cases by cases by cases, and again, at some point we are sick to hear it from the news every month maybe, and we felt that something needs to be done, and we felt that God calls us to start good time. Coming from technology background, we believe we can use technology to disrupt the $11 billion corruption industry, which is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Why we call it corruption industry? It's an industry because there is supplier, there is demand, you have product and services involved. The good news, we still have good and kind leaders in Indonesia. One of the prominent example is Mr. Basuki Cahayapurnama Ahok, who is an inspiration for many. And he actually started as a local legislator in his town. And there are other lesser known legislators as well. They are renowned, they are transparent, they are accountable, and they really serve the people. So how can I serve the challenges? The first one, you give the information, we try to provide the best information for the citizens. You know, it's very hard to Google these days, but we try to have all of them in our site. We build a LinkedIn profile for them. In LinkedIn, we would try to hire the best talent, right? In Good Kind, we want to find the best candidates because we pay them in our tax money. We also have the S-Corruption Indicator. Our voting ballot simulation is one of the most used, most liked feature. People love this, and it became like basically the best unofficial election site because it really helped people to figure out this thing before they went to the voting booth. It's like a pop-up test. We reached almost 5 million users leading to the election day without big marketing spending. And our next opportunity will be in November 2024. There will be another nationwide election for the executive leaders. And this is confirmation that people really value transparent information. Second challenge is the process is probably expensive for the leaders. So we try to level the playing fields by rating the leaders with real track records. How many people they have? What's your creative solution? How are you involved with the local communities? Oh, sorry. There's a testimony of Dr. Michael in Surabaya, known as the slum doctor. He got elected without any prior political experience because he helped the poor and needy. There is no accountability mechanism. Now there is because in Good Kind, it's an open platform. It's a virtual town hall. People can come and search for their local leaders, raise their issues, local issues, and collaborate with organizations to bring impact to the communities. We believe this is our ideal opportunity. We want to be the transparency and accountability platform. We want to educate the people, and we want to deliver social justice. We need your support. If you have a heart for Indonesia, please connect with us. We are open for Indonesian experience, but we also need referral for community leaders and NGOs. We also value the mentoring that DNP has provided, and of course, a lot of prayers because this will be a long, if not lifelong journey. Thank you, and for all Indonesians, our future is in our hands. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Johan, AWS engineer, and now building the cloud platform involving machine learning algorithms that turns satellite mapping data into carbon data. After meeting Johan and Lawrence, we'll never see mangroves the same way again. I had the pleasure to get to know Johan and Lawrence through reading Tim Keller's Every Good Endeavor together on our Zoom calls, and I'm excited for them to introduce Nika to you today.
Hi everyone, I'm a little bit sick and I just came back from the mountains of Philippines and the forest, so please excuse me, my voice is a little bit rusty. So hi, my name is Johan, you can call me John for short. I'm here to talk about my company, Nika.eco. That's really here to make climate modeling simplified, starting with account markets. So So by way of very quick introduction, we are a Singapore-based XY combination attack AI counter-tech startup that's most well known for developing proprietary algorithms to predict carbon credit issuance. We are known to build some of the most complex carbon models and already are working with some of the leading carbon project developers and financiers such as UBS Bank, Carbon Growth Partners, etc. And some of our leading activities, meaning were selected as the top 5 candidate for the Lunar China Prize Classic, as well as winning a top 20 startup competition in Dubai in December. So just to really go over our team very quickly, we are a very technical team where Lawrence and I used to work at Amazon Web Services. I used to work ranking algorithms, Lawrence with AI products for the Singapore government. And we're also very fortunate to work with some of the leading carbon modelers in the world, like Dr. Sujit, who actually written some of the most peer-reviewed research on the latest applications for some of the most complex carbon models and already advised the leading registries like Candido. Before I really move into our company, we really need to talk about the real redemptive opportunity that India is really looking at. First, to do that, I have to talk about a little bit of my history. So my father used to be a part-time missionary in the mountains of Chiang Mai, planting some of the earliest churches in those mountains. And these are just some images that we took of just deforestation that's continued to happen year over year as farmers really struggle to meet their yields, they have to continue to deforest. And this really led me to think there must be a better way. And 2 years ago, we did find out a better way. Theoretically, large corporates are actually more incentivized to channel private capital into actually the restoration and conservation of native forests in compensation for the offset their emissions. However, what has happened unfortunately in practice is that we've seen a lot of brokenness in this space where lots of carbon credits have been shown to overstate their impact. Many examples of this. And this really led us to think really quickly about the redemptive opportunity. When Nika is really looking to the organization to make climate intelligence tools accessible for anyone, specifically to really restore brokenness in the space, really empower strong mechanisms for creation in this particular space. So the main business problem that we're looking to solve is actually building carbon models that predict issue credits that can be audible, along with scientific standards, are very, very, very difficult. Think about it almost as it's very similar to the real estate industry in the past, where before you had, you need to make sure that the buildings meet clear safety requirements by the Singapore government or whatnot, and trying to get as many softwares in the real estate industry to do this. In the carbon markets or in the nature and climate space, there really is not enough software infrastructure to enable this to happen. This is a clear example where carbon credit issuance models typically have thousands of different parameters that need to be taken into consideration. And to build a single carbon model, it takes about 4 to 6 months on average to build this model. And that's just one carbon model. And in several carbon projects, there might be multiple carbon models within a single project. So that's why we effectively built PlanetGPT, which is essentially a very powerful GIS machine learning infrastructure that helps anyone to basically build, scale, and collaborate along their GIS carbon models to make it as simple as building carbon models like Lego, utilizing data. We've effectively on data already been able to help our customers to reduce their carbon model builds from an average of 4 months to about 3 years. And this is a clear case study where even though we reduce time, we continue to encourage performance, right? So this is a customer data set before working with Nika, where they basically had predicting mangroves over here, and then there was deforested over time, which allowed them to actually claim deforestation credits. Our model was predicting it was already there to begin with, meaning they could not claim credits. When we looked at peer-reviewed research, we were more likely to be correct, which really demonstrates the power of having strong models predict things accurately. We're already working with some of the leading players like ST Engineering, who owns some of the highest performing satellites in our region, as well as very recently, for example, in the Philippines, working with the government as well as the universities there to actually build some of Southeast Asia's leading carbon models to license to registries like Vera and Candido, etc. Here are some key traction points where we already have 200,000K in contracts that we're working with just in Q1 2024 and early Q2 2024 alone. Despite just having launched in March 2023 just last year. And we really believe that while carbon market is already steadily growing in our carbon model space, our core technology is actually the GIS infrastructure that allows the model builds. And what we see is that this can be scaled in many different sorts of other industries that require very heavy workloads for GIS models in the future that are currently reflecting this space. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to hopefully you guys joining us on
introduce the guy I met in, still remember, 10 April last year in Taipei. So we both met at a Taipei event for Innovation Day for Bank. So we sat next to each other, he starts to work and to develop family, and it's like a faith, right? And that's good discussion. I said, that's you know, this is your shop, so it's a little bit of so I think over time, over 1 year, we're training on, he asked for family. I'm happy to see the transformation in and he's the best for God and integrates his family, his work, as well as faith. So me, Alex.
Plenty really wasted every single year on ads that don't work. Marketing campaigns just for Facebook alone, just for USA. I got privileged to run marketing campaigns on Forbes. So before this event, actually, I was asked to do a business owner. What is you like and you don't like in your marketing agency? And what do you think about your own marketing? And if you look into what they responded, the top answer is really about performance is really bad. It's very transparent, and agencies maybe not working hard enough. And if you look at what they don't like in their own campaigns, they should also surprised. Not the performance, but transparency was actually the biggest issue they have mentioned. And it's not difficult to tell why this is happening. In fact, humans are not very good in data in tech. And digital marketing is a very techy industry. And when we're not getting results, we are compensating the lack of performance, lack of results with lies. And the lies become so deep in this industry that it becomes a backbone. It's like, how can you be a marketer and not lying to your customers, suppliers, making up results, doing transparent messaging? And you really disagree with this? Hi, my name is Alex. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sony, the GenAI platform that helps marketers, marketing agencies, be better marketers. So that they become much more accessible, but also they become efficient. So they are satisfied with what they do, and their customers are also happy with who they become. Citibank, P&G, Audi, what you had all these companies, they all already using Windows AI in their digital advertising across the globe. We also have agents that work with us like Denso, ours, and Ruban. But how do they do it? They use so many ecosystem of products, which stand on two pillars: So Monitor and So Ads. So Monitor is a platform for helping you to understand the competitive landscape and analyze the communication of competitors. It helps you to understand which competitor ads and content are working or not, and it uses our proprietary AI to explain why. We then combine it with large language models, so our platform is actually the deepest in the market that can jump in and understand which audience your competitors are addressing, what customer needs they're trying to appeal, and what is the winning strategy. So we can even generate a story, or even marketing content, helping you to do a much better job rather than just trying to do here and there, basing your ad feeling. And the agencies that work with us not just using it for the work, they also use it for pitch. So this is person from Havas, Middle East, they actually bring our platform for the pitch every time we go to the client. Just imagine you come to get a deal with a client, and instead of showing the PowerPoint, they show the platform that shows that actually know your data better than you, get all the agencies that pitch to you. But this is on the client communication perspective. Of course, we also have another product called So Ads, and this product is in charge of running digital ads automatically via AI in 3 steps. First step, analyze their audience of brand competitors and social, where it can discover the psychograph of the personality of the user, and uses personality to target more specific, different audiences as compared to what brand might target originally. Then it executes campaigns 24 hours, 7 days a week. Like for Citibank, it allows them to get 43% cheaper customer results, and it's much more efficient advertising campaigns, so they know waste money on inefficient marketing. Of course, this wouldn't be possible to build without a really good team, and we have such team. The three top people are the co-founders. I'm also a university professor in AI Marlow, who used to lead BBDO and IPG in Malaysia. Totally is 20 people, 2 professors, 3 PhDs, quite a number of very, very good people running this business. We are growing pretty well. We have a very clear path to profitability. In fact, at Coral, we are very profitable, but our second product on top here is growing 2 to 3 times a month. This is our Gen AI self-service product that has been adopted in the industry, and Singapore government even pays 70% of the fees to all customers to use our product. So the government supports for Singapore. So Samin looks to establish an intensive marketing ecosystem where marketers are doing truly good jobs, so they don't need to lie, and they can really provide very nice service to their customers. So they don't need to feel bad about what the industry is pushing them to. So in Isaiah chapter 9 says there was a great darkness and people have seen the light. So we want Samin to be the light at the end of your marketing funnel. I was very privileged here. It's QR code. I was privileged to actually talk about redemptive marketing and the practice framework that you all learned today on Force. So I want everyone read this article and pass it to your friends because it helps our community to grow across the world. It's such an important medium. Or it just WhatsApp to me later and I'll pass it to you.
Thank you very much.
I am Suparno from Indonesia. It's my privilege to introduce my mentees, Juan from Sobi. So let me just tell a little bit about Juan, because here later he'll be talking about the digital side of his business. Let me just share with you a little bit from his heart, as far as I know anyway, and his passion. So basically, Juan becomes a believer just not too long ago, about 4 or 5 years. So previously, he actually was involved in quite a few other operations. And the thing that I see about him is he's a struggler. He sees certain things. He said, "I must get this done. I must be successful." Okay? And now that his heart is filled with, the passion of God, I actually, whenever I see him and meet him, I felt very, excited about it. And so during these 8 months that I come to know Juan, we correspond a bit on WhatsApp, and he'll tell me about his struggles and he's praying over it. And pretty soon, he got the good news that he has succeeded, he has overcome that. And so I really feel that, for me, as an investor, I always look at the heart, I look at the passion of the person. And if I see that somebody is passionate, somebody really wants to get things done, and one more, now that he has Christ, God on his side, and he has this community, I really feel that Juan will be successful.
Thank you, Mark. My name is John. Good morning. All right. My aim is just to do 2 things today. One, I want to share with you a story. Second, I want to introduce you. So Sobi is a gateway for digital commerce and services. All right. I think everybody who had gone through that, right? I thank the Lord because my wife is here today. And half the time at home, when parcels arrive at home, all right, I have the one who opens the door. Somehow, from 1, 2, 3, maybe I can open the door 5 times in a day. And I ask my wife, hey, how do you buy online, right? And usually that behavior, right, when we start to break it down, right, it's quite simple. Oh, a friend told me something, it's a product, all right? And that's where I can find it, it's a link, all right? But for 1 week, it became like $5. So when I start to look at the whole buying process, including myself, right? The platforms look exactly the same, all right? And fundamentally, the problem becomes we are fooled to buy things that we have. In fact, the shoes that I wear today, I was trying to buy a pair of trainers to run, all right, on thanks to my son who is here, all right, he asked me he needs a shoebox. When I went to the store, I said, oh wow, actually I really need more shoes. I really bought. So what's the problem over here, right? I believe that the culture that we are in all the time is in the culture of overconsumption. And this is where I hope my friend that I'm going to introduce you in a bit, can try to help solve some of these things. First, we need to count the cost. I want to us to be mindful of what is the cost in a sense. Right? If any one of you sitting in this room today, all right, suffer from any form of buyer's regret, i.e., after you purchase, if you want to buy on Amazon or anything, you don't really need that thing. All right, you are somebody that I hope my friend can help also. All right, because Sobe is their friend. That's the point. It's clean, and they make sure it delivers to you the neutral answers, not pushing you, not upsetting you, on the things and the products that you do. So what's behind Sobe? Three things. First, it's a collective program. Where we go all out the world, collect all the products and the data that comes along, the price, the ratings, whether it is the fraud, non-fraud, whether it is good for you as a user, as a older adult or a kid. And display on demand the things that you are asking, rather than the things that you think you are asking, which is what the culture of the digital commerce and product services are all about. So it's a very simple thing, all right? I'm honored to be here because I'm in the midst of many generative AI startups, all right? For Sobe, if any one of you are interested, all right, Sobe just downstairs. It's training, it's collecting the data, it's processing it, and it's developing what we call the model, all right? And Sobe has many friends. There's many friends like yourself who tell Sobe, hey, I like this thing. Like the kind of like my wife's friends on her dinner table. Oh, hey, I like this thing. This is how I use it. This is where we get it. All right. And eventually, of course, Sobe is a bit transactional of a friend, right? And you use Sobe, all right. The products that Sobe recommends to you, all right. We collect a fee. Sobe collects a fee so that he can eat. Second, all right. There are a few more of data management services, or our extract simplify the way, meaning it is Sobe's job to convert whatever data that you see in products and services online into what we call machine learnable parameters. If you are interested again to see how it works, Sobe just downstairs. We can show you how the AI runs, trains, and what the model is all about today. So Sobe has started to go to market. Sobe has developed a cooperative incentive, meaning, if you are actually recommending to Sobe some of the products and services, the website, the details of how you use it, Sobe is actually going to pay you some money, not from our own pockets, of course. I can explain it in person, If you feel that you have been posting links online to your friend and all that, you can participate with Sobe soon, sending Sobe, the links, to all these products and services and how you use it, But we start off very niche. The world is a big place. We do not feel ourselves that we can understand the world through, So we started with a deep focus on the family, particularly on newborns. That's why you see the baby food. That's a real product, by the way. One of the e-commerce websites. We have just completed alpha in January. We are pre-seed at this point in time. We have more than 10,000 products and services that Sobe has known right now. Total value of about 500,000. This includes weeding out a lot of the fraud that you see on e-commerce. I think if you're in Singapore, you will realize that the government is highly attentive to some of these fraud and all that. So that's one basic things that we help to see out. All right. Sobe is too present, as what Park Sopano has kindly said. I've been doing this for about 7 months now. The co-founder just joined me, Mark. All right, and I won't talk too much about ourselves. Sobe needs your help. We need money to go to. We need money to start generating more products and services because ultimately this needs our help. The setup is done. The first language model for e-commerce is downstairs. You can actually see how the AI, the mathematics, and what does an AI really mean, right? And we hope in the next half of the year we will start going to market. And with that, thank you very much.
I certainly, when I look at my houses and the things I own, I just use about 30%. So I certainly need Sophie as my friend. The next person is Gerald. Gerald, let me tell you a little bit about his passion as well. The thing that I like about him is he loves Indonesia. That's where I'm from. And the other thing is he loved working with the 65 million, what we call the micro, small, and medium enterprise. So these are the group of people that the government is trying to help. They are searching how to help them, how to get them to change their mentality and so forth. It's not easy. Okay, I'm doing the process of doing that. But what they're is if you think about the marketplace ESG, they talk about dying to sell. So he could have been here in Singapore, but he moved to Indonesia to stay with the people that he's trying to help. Okay, the restore culture. That's something that he is trying to do with 65 million small, medium enterprise. And finally, what's the third one again? I got it written somewhere. Less people. Okay. So that's what he's trying to do. And let me tell you a little bit about him before I go. I'm glad there's no king for the matter.
Being exempted.
So this guy here is a super likable person. There are some people that you see and you say, this guy is wonderful. And if you later hear him come out this week, you see that this guy, because of the way he bless people, I think a lot of people bless. And that is one of the superpower that many people have.
Thank you very much, Mark. Wow, such high praise, I don't know if I can live up to it. Hi, my name is Gerald. So, okay, so I just want to take you guys from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. So Zhuang actually mentioned a lot about e-commerce and talking about the customers, right? So for us, we are actually trying to work behind the scenes on the other side of the story with the SMEs and as well as the brands that bring products to the market. So my company is called Pipit Mart, and it comes from the Bahasa word which means sparrow. So a little bit about our inspiration is that comes from Matthew 10:39, when it says that if God can take care of the sparrows, He can take care of you. So it is our prayer that God can take care of the 65 million SMEs in Indonesia, as well as the over 100 million SMEs all over Southeast Asia. So what is Pipit Mart? Pipit Mart is where we do OEM as a service, or original equipment manufacturing, white labeling, where we bring product pipelines for SMEs. So on your seats in the morning, you'll probably find two different products. Can everyone just quickly wave these products to me? Yep. So in your hands, can I ask, do you know the power of the products in your hands? And chances are, I just sent these products to you. But to the SMEs, this is the hangover relief as well as the barley fiber products that you sell. But to the SMEs that 65 million of them in Indonesia, there is actually a lifeline. Okay? Indonesia has 65 million SMEs, of which they hire 97% of the workforce. But they only account for a third of the global value chain. So, what does this mean for Indonesian SMEs in particular? Is that they are constantly falling behind as the world levels up. So at the same time, Indonesian SMEs do not have a second chance. over half of them are living from month to month and trying to make, money and make ends meet by selling products. And they are falling behind because the products don't keep up to scratch and they don't have the strategies or the skills to enable themselves to remain competitive with the market. So what happens? There's actually three major impacts to SMEs. Number one, that they lose the margins of the products that they're currently selling because of inflation, because of rising cost of living. They are unable to scale, they keep offering the same products and expect of everything to happen. And they are unable to innovate. They cannot retain their customers because when other people increase their product offerings, improve their prices, these people are the ones that's left behind. So, in your hands, ladies and gentlemen, lies the key for SMEs rejuvenation and innovation. And that's where we come in, we step in, and we help them to navigate this product pipeline, to help them build the relevant. So, we want to help improve the economy for SMEs and to make it a level playing field. We are also part of the SDG goals. We want to help the 10 number one where we reduce poverty for SMEs and we reduce income inequality. And we do it through products. So the answer to standing out for products for SMEs is not more mediocre products. Believe me, we've tried. We've sold everything from tissue paper to chocolate to tea to even cigarettes. And over time, the questions that comes back to me is the same. Can we have better products with better margins that people actually want? So our solution is actually where we go the other ways and we actually develop our products. We develop our R&D pipeline where we help them to be the fastest way to market to bring these products, exclusively through their channels. So Pipify is actually a B2B and B2B2C where we help SMEs and resellers. And our promise to them is that we will never be going B2C directly. So remember I mentioned the three impacts. This is where we come in and we help them to see three impacts directly. Number one is financial, where we guarantee essential margins for SMEs through our products. We produce, we manufacture, and we iterate and we bring to market for these SMEs. We also have a social impact where we do the advertising, we do the content that these people can actually push. So we give them professional level content for our products. And lastly, the products that we provide, the ones that you have in your hands, we promise that it has a positive, physical impact to you. So I'll just quickly go through how we select our products. So we have, there's a matrix on which we select our products, and we focus on the niche of essential foods, and we target the premium market segment, and we build trendy demand products through our networks. We also, the product that you're holding, the Sober Friend, is actually a product that's directly from Korea, and we actually are on track to achieve over 2 million sachets sold in 2025. This year we are targeting about 1.25 million, of which we already done about 25%. So it works. This is the form we are going and help build for SMEs. So our clients and partners, we primarily work with B2B customers and B2B2C. We work with brands, we work with KTV lounges for these products in the alcohol industry, and we also work with influencers and resellers. So value creation is a process. We want to bring people from this profile as a newcomer to this profile where they are emerging SMEs. Yeah. So product innovation is a long-term process, it's a journey, and we want to invite you guys to come on board and join us on this journey. So business models, very quickly, we actually work with them on a very much traditional model because this is what they require at this point in time. We will upscale them, uplift them over time. But right now, this is how we are working with them. The last, why do they work with us? Because we actually focus on the B2B2C. We own our R&D and the IPs, and we are actually top quality manufacturing processes. So this is us. I'm my co-founder Audi here with me. We have a good group of investors as well as mentors who's helping us in the import-export manufacturing space. And if you are in this space, I would love to check with you further. So in the next 18 to 12 to 18 months, we want to scale up our R&D for our two products that you see you have in your hands. We also want to introduce more products as well as build out a platform for OEM as a service. So our quick needs and requests is that we are raising a seed round of $300,000 US to actually further out the R&D as well as the production capabilities of these products. We're looking to work with product IP owners from all over the world, as well as what we call from hotels, restaurants, and cafes. The street hospitality industry, as well as the life industry for our projects. So thank you very much, and let's build a big value for SME.
Fellow to present is Aaron, co-founder of the Editors Company, an interior design startup in Hong Kong. Their mission is to make home styling accessible. Since the company was founded in 2019, they have styled more than 550 homes. It's really fulfilling and rewarding to be part of their journey. Here's Aaron to tell you more about them.
Hi, I'm Aaron. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to my invitation. My co-founder is here, Young. And today I just want to give a simple, hopefully under 5-minute story about our startup and I'm on the business side. Fion's a designer by trade. We actually met through a friend. I used to run some furniture stores in Hong Kong, and she's the designer, kind of bespoke interior designer. And we had the same idea to try to make interior design more accessible, more impartial, and not be the kind of, not be the same as others in the industry in some ways. We started about 5 years ago, and we still had our jobs, but we just served some of our friends. Our first customers was a friend of a friend of a friend. A friend of my sister, and then it spread from there. We made a little bit of money, and we were like, hey, it works. And then talked to my ex-boss and got a little bit of PC and started full time. Since then, we have built a sustainable business. It's now more than 500 homes. And we've just been figuring it out, getting a little bit better in the business. So the problem that we're solving, we're not solving all of it, but there are two main ones. Interior design is expensive, and a lot of times the fees, what you're paying an interior designer is kind of overpaid. And just to put it simply, a lot of interior designers or contractors are trying to get a chunk of your project. And it's unclear how much they get. Sometimes they don't even know, but just a chunk. And a lot of times, if you want to get interior design advice, you would need a bigger project or a renovation to be entertaining. So why is that a problem for some projects, for some people? A lot of people want to, if they're just renting or if they don't need to do a big renovation, they don't have advice, they don't have professional advice. And for people who are doing a renovation, a lot of times they go directly to a contractor that they trust. And contractors have limited design advice. So our solution, we basically built a simple, impartial, flat fee kind of collaborative design service offered in 2 words. Our main one that we started with was home styling service, where we charge a flat fee that's pretty reasonable, and we help you from getting to the end for a whole room, the sections that you want to work on. And we can do that because in the back we work with, I think, pretty much all of the good sellers of furniture and decor, and we don't mark up, but they pay us. They give us a trade price. And the other service is also a flat fee service where we are able to give you a comprehensive playbook service to give you all the ideas that you need. And it's a really good fee. We give you a lot for what we do, and we just read the design drawings, all the execution stuff
a lot of people want anyway. I just talked about this question. Yeah, so that's internet services. The playbook, it's basically all the ideas that you would need. Go through the internet. And we basically equip our ideal customers are younger, 30s, 40s, have a little bit more money now that they can think about their homes on a higher level. A lot of young families, a lot of younger couples who don't have time, basically, a lot of dual income. So two redemptive opportunities. One is to have a service where you can go to that's more accessible to build homes, and we really see that. I'm by nature maybe a bit cynical sometimes. So in the beginning, I thought, oh yeah, it's going to be kind of corny, but we say this that we can build good homes and foster relationships. But we found that it's actually really true. Everyone who comes to us are coming at a really important milestone in their life, getting married, moving in together. Young, growing family, or they're moving to a new country, or even a new part of town where they're trying to get on, I want to follow nature, and we play a small part in that, which is, I think, is really good. And number two, I think interior design as a job, as an industry, a lot of times interior designers end up not really having that helpful relationship with the customer. It's their other agendas that are kind of structural. But I think we built a service where we really just charge flat fee and then you just put that away and just help the customer. We have as a business or as a service fostered that kind of service environment to do. And and I think the third one, which is kind of off script not here, is that throughout this DNP, I've been really inspired by fellows and mentors and discussions and the framework, just to get away from the startup dogma that I was, that I think sometimes we're so accustomed to just learn how to build a business that's just simple, just helping others, getting some value for it, and then grow from there, grow from what we know, grow from what's right in front of us. Thank you.
Lastly, a business partnership is like a marriage. Be Global is just that. A husband and wife duo united by shared goals and values. Married for 12 years, but business partners for 15. Though the journey may present challenges, their dynamics remain strong, reflecting their deep connection and mutual dedication. It's been a blessing to listen and journey alongside them all this once. So allow me to introduce the dynamic duo, Christine and Dave.
Almost 12 years ago, Raymond and I made a commitment to each other to co-live and invest in God's kingdom here. As an entrepreneur, we have shared an entrepreneurial journey in college, which envisions our business as our ministry, exemplifying Mark 12, verse 30 to 31. Today, we introduce Be Global E-Commerce Corporation, dedicated to revolutionizing e-commerce and empowering Filipino brands to make a lasting impact. Alright, so here's a problem. Rarely do we see Filipino brands lead the pack in the Philippine e-commerce industry. As a homegrown company, we are determined to flip that narrative. We want to empower, our mission is to empower brands not just to survive, but to thrive and even emerge victorious among multinational giants. Furthermore, these local brands, we have in the society resources to effect change, but few have the time and energy to focus on creating impact. Few have the knowledge and support needed to channel these resources effectively, resulting to them just giving away money or donating without any proper follow-through. So enter DGE. We are a team of 150 plus members. We have partnerships for more than 170 brands. We have fulfilled over 1,800,000 orders to date and managing around 46,000 SKUs. We're also partners with the different platforms you can see above. BGE is an all-in-one e-commerce solutions provider offering comprehensive support for brands who want to enter the digital marketplace. At the heart of it, our vision goes beyond transcending mere sales, but empowering brands to make tangible and meaningful difference in our society.
So how does it work? We at BGE we want to focus on three things. BGE, build, grow, and educate. First, we want to build the nation one community at a time, or one family at a time, and one community at a time. This is done through projects such as building houses in marginalized communities, aided by multiple home brands that we cater to, and in collaboration with different NGOs. Second is grow. We want to empower the less fortunate by seeding them livelihood initiatives so they can have a business to start with. Third is educate. We want to collaborate with public colleges and universities so that we can teach young generations how to do e-commerce. Imagine 150 plus brands united together in one collaborative vision. One example is Lotus Tools Philippines. Ever since they started with us, they have experienced tremendous growth over the years. They and quickly actually became a top brand in their industry. They engaged multiple services with us and even expanded our services outside e-commerce. During the pandemic, we were able to collaborate with them, donating over 40,000 worth of PPEs in 50 plus hospitals nationwide. This is a testament of our commitment to both business growth and community impact. This is our company progress so far. In our first year, we achieved a total of $1.8 million, and this year we will be able to reach over $9 million. This is 5x growth over the last 6 years. Looking ahead, with an average growth rate of 30% year on year, we will be able to reach 39 million by 2029.
Our revenue model offers a range of services from maintenance fees, commission fees, and digital service package, offering a complete solution. Aside from live streaming, which is a big thing now in e-commerce, we've also introduced shared services for startups to choose customizable options such as human resources, accounting, finance, and customer service, which are vital for today's success in the market.
We're in search of faith-driven investors and mentors who share the vision as ours. We seek an investment of $1 million, 75% of which will go to expanding business opportunities, 15% will go to operational infrastructure, and 10% will go to preventive activities. As we end, we leave with this powerful verse from Mark 12, verse 30 to 32. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. Second is this: love your neighbor as you love yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. This verse encapsulates our heart. There are three things that I want to highlight as we close. Number one, we want to amplify what we do by sustainable collaborative impact. And number two, we want to cultivate further partnerships with Filipino brands. And number three, we want to become a driver, just like the screwdriver that you found there on your chair, that for brands to drive change in the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the founders. Now, it's not an easy job to get out here, to do a 5-minute pitch. You know, you're under pressure all the time. You're trying to get the message across. And you know what? It's a miracle. We're on time. We were predicting there was no way we would stick to time because usually it doesn't go that way. So we actually on time, which is great. And thank you to all the founders. A big hand for them again. So another area that is in real need of redemption is actually in the finance space, in investment.